Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. On today's episode, I want to talk to you about power or electricity or silent power, clean power, whatever you want to call them, mainly because sometimes you absolutely need power, or you have tools that, are still corded that you haven't made the transition to, or those tools are only coming corded, or you want silent clean power like in a movie on the lawn type situation, because recently we went to one of those and it was not quiet, clean power around. You could smell the smoke on, some of those generators. So anyways, point is, we're going to go over this tool right here. And if this looks familiar, this is probably our second generation of this tool. If it looks familiar, because we made a couple months ago, maybe a power station type deal. But now we've made some improvements and also some disimprovements or downgrades, whatever you want to call them. So if you're interested in this, stick with us. So this is the power system right here. The top part is completely modular, and so is the bottom part, and you can kind of interconnect them if you need to, or if you want to change it out, you can do that too. So check this out. We'll go ahead and unlatch these from the rigid connection, and then we'll take it off, right? You can move this around, you can carry it separately. It's all tied together in this case. There you go. We'll snap it back into place. And now it's one whole unit, right? So if you're familiar with the rigid tool power or storage system, then that's pretty straightforward. Here is the main power generation tool. And this right here, you can't really say tool, but it says Victron Energy 1200 VA 48 volt pure sine wave inverter. So the Victron devices are actually rated in VA, which is volt amperes, right? This is a 1200 VA pure sine wave inverter and is a low frequency transformer based inverter. What that really means is that there's really two types on the market: low frequency transformer based and then high frequency based, which doesn't use transformers like this. There's pros and cons to each. We're not going to get into that. But the big pro to the low frequency transformer based inverters is that they can handle a higher capacity of surge. Like, so if you have a power tool that just takes a higher surge startup, it can help get it started, whereas sometimes the higher frequency inverters cannot do that, all right? So here's the main power generation tool, and it actually has a positive and negative connection, as you can see right here, which comes out to a pigtail right here, to an Anderson type connector, which you can connect to the power source that sits inside of here, all right? There is another component which is not absolutely necessary, but is nice to have, which is this black Bluetooth connector right here, which is the Victron Energy VE Direct Bluetooth Smart Dongle. It connects to a VE Direct port right here, which actually lets you connect your phone to the device to either configure settings or see how much power is being used. If we haven't shown you that, we'll go ahead and show you that later. But this is pretty simple. It's mounted on a piece of plywood, which is not ideal, but it helps prevent it from moving around, sloshing around. That is ideal, right? It's not ideal mainly because the plywood is flammable, but the chances of this thing catching on fire is probably not that high, even though some would argue against it, right? So anyways, point is pretty straightforward. This is 8 gauge wire. You could probably go more for overkill, but I went with the 8 mainly because that's what I had available, right? But it can draw a maximum of up to 30 amps. So you want to make sure you are using wire that can carry up to 30 amps, right? So you can lock this down here and then move this. Easy, no problem, all right? So let's go into here, and if you've seen this before, mainly because it's the same exact battery and the toolbox that we use in the first generation thing that we built, right? Power station, getting all the glue off has been a huge pain. That glue is actually really sticky. So you can open it up, and then inside of here, what you have is the EG4 in waterproof 48 volt 5 kilowatt hour battery. It's straightforward. There's no like secrets or frills or thrills going on in here. It's pretty much a huge 5 kilowatt hour battery with a negative and a positive. And in this case, we have the positive going to a breaker that's right here. I'll show you that in a bit, which actually completely isolates or cuts the circuit from the battery to the inverter. And you want to do that mainly because you want to be able to either quickly turn it off or completely isolate it. And also you want to be able to sometimes cut the power completely because you don't want to be disconnecting or connecting this stuff like under load. And you obviously don't want to do that, right? But even when it's off, you know, sometimes you can connect it and it'll cause a spark. There's ways to reduce that with like pre-charged resistors and stuff like that, but it's just nice to have a complete isolator switch to get past that, right? So this technically doesn't need to be in this case, mainly because this entire battery is completely waterproof. It's designed as a waterproof battery to be used in marine applications and stuff like that. And the important thing, or the good thing about this battery, besides it being waterproof, is that it has a Bluetooth dongle built into the battery, so you can connect to your phone and see the draw rate, the charge rate, the temperature, the cells, all that kind of stuff, right? So that's really nice. So if you have this connected Bluetooth and the power inverter connected Bluetooth, you know, you really don't need to connect anything besides the battery to the inverter, and then you'll be good to go, right? So like I said, nothing going on in here except just holding the battery and providing the wheels to move the entire system, because the wheels, you know, this thing is heavy, right? So if you don't know what 5 kilowatt hours is, this battery is 5 kilowatt hours. It's roughly equal to about 25 M18 12 amp hour batteries, because each one of those is right around 215 watt hours. There's 5 kilowatts in here, so you do the math, and that's a lot of battery power, right? So you could go pretty much all day on something like this. I believe even the huge new, brand new pack out roll-on thing they have, I don't know how much is in there, maybe like 2 kilowatt hours or 3 kilowatt hours, we'll have to look it up, but this is 5, right? So this works really well. All right, and that right there is a portable power station, portable power, clean power, whatever you might want to call it, right? So let's talk about the cost. This inverter, specific 48 volt 1200 VA inverter, is about $320, right? This battery, this specific battery, the refurb one that I purchased, was around $800 or $900. So altogether, let's say even the cases and cables, you probably can put you around, let's say $1,300-$1,400, right? You could probably, if you wanted to cut some costs, you could get a smaller capacity battery, which I think I saw on Amazon, like a, Lead Time or Chins or something like that, for like $600 or $700, right? But you're getting a little bit less capacity there. But I decided to go with this one, the EG4 one, mainly because it was just a refurb one. I think they give you like 2-year warranty or something, and it's a 5 kilowatt hour battery, right? So it just makes sense to do it. So if you need clean power, or even just high startup stuff that you need to start, this is probably a good system for you. Although, let's go ahead and say it won't obviously run super big devices, right? As you saw earlier, it was able to run the vacuum. We ran a sander, obviously it'll run lights. It'll run the router. That was a 12 amp router. It won't run that compressor. It's able to start the compressor and get it running for, what was it, like maybe like 10 seconds or something, but it won't be able to keep it running because of the high amperage draw. So that this inverter has a peak power capability of around like 2200 watts or something like that. So that's good enough to get a lot of stuff started, but it just won't be able to keep it running. So that is a small disappointment. I do wish they made a 2000 VA Phoenix inverter like this. That would be perfect, or even a 2200 or something like that. Maybe just something that's just a little bit more on this type of platform, mainly because it'll just allow you to get more versatility from this system, right? And for whatever reason, let's just say you're just using a lot of power all day, right? Then you just get another battery pack, you just swap them out, right? You can just take this off, put it on that one, and you just keep going, right? Another thing you could do, because this battery is able to output 200 amps continuous, you could just get 2 of these, right? So you can get 2 of these. You can have another one, stack it here, just take it off, plug it in, just all connect them here, just as many as you need to just get the power you need to, service whatever tools you might need to get. Like pipe threader, you want to just roll this into your trailer or something like that. Powered lights, charge all your cordless tool batteries, run some jacks or some microwaves, whatever, right? It's a good portable solution to go. So this is something that I would really build or probably continue to use. There's been no reason why we weren't able to use this. I think on the site, most of the stuff that we use nowadays is cordless, but for whatever reason, like an air cleaner and stuff like that will run days probably with this thing. When we were doing drywall sanding, running the air cleaner in there, this doesn't even not even register on the power that's drawing, right? So just being able to put this anywhere or have portable power anywhere is a huge deal, and this is the system that I would recommend to anyone. So if you want to build a system like this, I'll just throw the links are just in the description and details below. So hopefully it's helped you out. The only thing I can really say is make sure when you're running this, run it open, because it does need to ventilate. All right, so if you have any questions, let us know. Otherwise, have a great day. Hope this video helped you guys out. Get back to work, and we'll see you guys next time.